Welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's doing fantastic out there, and appreciate you guys tuning on in. We are getting closer to a game day. By the way, we're going to have pregame coverage on the WQM YouTube page, Game Day Uncensored. Gets going at noon to get you ready for all your Dolphins Seahawks action. Got some updates today from Mike McDaniel. And first off, we get the update, and I'd say the thing that is most consequential is that you have Raheem Mostert looking like he's not going to play. Mike McDaniel, his term today, he used the word pessimistic, but he wouldn't rule it out. Now, is he trying to keep some gamesmanship? Perhaps. Is there a chance that Raheem Mostert suits up but gets very limited reps? Maybe, but you know that the Dolphins still have an ability to go to a Devon Achane, a Jeff Wilson, a Jalen Wright, and see where that takes him. Mostert, I think you do have to be careful with him. This is a guy who got hurt at the end of last year. He is, for his age, a marvel, still being able to do what he's able to do at that position at that age. But he still is that age, and you do have to be careful with him, and you do want to say one of your most prolific touchdown scorers of last year. I do think that you would want that guy to be available. So to hear that he is not able to go is a little bit of a bummer, just because you obviously have lofty expectations for this year. Did not have a great first game where he did get hurt. Get yourself right all the way, man. I mean, that's the important thing here, and I think if there's any position the Dolphins could afford it at, that's probably one of them. I don't know, we've seen the ramifications of the Dolphins dealing with that at receiver has not been good, and we'll get into that here in just a second. We've seen the ramifications of the Dolphins already at quarterback because everybody's very nervous about Skylar Thompson. Offensive line, same way. The backups went in there, and they got absolutely dish-ragged by the Buffalo Bills. Not that the starters didn't. And so, but this is one of those where you're like, all right, I think that running back, first of all, Devon Achane's arguably been the team's best player. Jeff Wilson shown himself to be more than capable in this Dolphins team for a couple of years now. I think this is the prudent thing to do. Now, there were some more injury updates. Grant DeBose, he of having the ball bounce off his chest and go for an interception fame, he is dealing with a shoulder injury. Mike McDaniel said today it does not appear to be season ending, but he is also looking like a guy who is going to be missing some time. Not that the Dolphins fan loves his first impression. So you're wishing Grant a speedy recovery. Mike McDaniel also wouldn't give a lot of clarity on Malik Washington, who was practicing some this week. And I would say when I saw that, I was kind of excited because I think this Dolphins team, needs that third guy to step up in certain situations. Certainly when they take Jalen Waddle and they take Tyreek Hill off the field, the results have kind of been disastrous for the Miami Dolphins when they're throwing the football. Now you bring Malik in there, a guy who, was able to catch the football a lot in college. We didn't see a ton of it in the preseason. We did see with the ball in his hands, though. Dude's explosive. You just put the ball in his hands, whether it be on end runs, sweeps, handoffs, kickoff returns, punt returns. He can make things happen with the football. Very, very exciting player. And I don't know, I don't know where the Dolphins stand right now with the receiving core because, it's only Tyreek, Jalen Waddle, Braxton Berrios, and then what? Robbie Chosen is like out of here. He's already like reaching out for media opportunities in South Florida. I think for Grant, him being out, not that it was a great first impression, like the Dolphins need some kind of a spark. And Mike McDaniel did leave the window open for an arrival. And I'm kind of excited about this one because it is unlocking potentially one of the great quarterback wide receiver tandems we have ever seen. And that is, of course, Erik Ezukanma and his chemistry with Skylar Thompson. This duo, I mean, to say what they did in the preseason was overwhelming would be an understatement. Their preseason career together has been incredible. Arguable to get Skylar Thompson a roster spot because of what Eazy-E was able to do in these preseason games with Skylar Thompson. Now, that's maybe the reason that he won the backup job this year, the reason that he got a roster spot his rookie year. His chemistry with Erik Ezukanma is phenomenal. And Mike McDaniel today did say that there is a chance that he could be elevated. He went with a leg injury that kind of cost him his 53-man spot. I liked Erik Ezukanma. I think everybody's always liked the talent and what he's able to do and the theory of him. We just haven't seen it in regular season games. His numbers in the regular season have not reflected. He had a bad neck injury last year that was scary to hear about. You're wondering, is it career threatening? But if Skylar Thompson, the one thing you want with a young quarterback is a safety blanket, a guy he could just throw it up to, a guy he could trust, right? And I think that you would probably say, Tobes, what the hell is Tyreek Hill for? And I would agree with you. Right, Tyreek Hill is the star of this team, and Jalen Waddle is a star on this team. But there's something about certain guys and having just a guy they can always rely upon, can always be the outlet, can always be the guy, hey, I feel comfortable, I can just throw it up to him and he'll go make a play. Tyreek, yeah, we've seen him make some incredibly athletic plays. I'm not going to diminish what he's done on a career, but we normally know is get the ball, cook somebody out of their shoes, or beat somebody down the field. Jalen Waddle, I think we know his incredible burst. I think the knocks on him are can get chased down, but also has had some big drops, big turnovers in pretty important spots, and I'm sure Skylar's still going to go to him, but there's something. I know that this guy doesn't match the talent of the other players. Nowhere near. I would never put Erik Ezukanma's credentials up with the two stars of the Miami Dolphins. But I do think there's something to. I've gotten a lot of reps with this quarterback. I've had some good success in games, even if it is preseason games. They have lined up together. They've looked for each other. It's kind of all been improvisation anyway, right? You're playing in third preseason games or fourth quarters of preseason games, and you're just trying to make rosters, and you're just trying to make big plays. I would love it if Erik Ezukanma was out there for the Miami Dolphins. I think it would be, if he is healthy to go, I think it's a home run idea for the Miami Dolphins. And honestly, the other guys that they've had, with having Robbie Chosen there or having Grant DeBose there, no disrespect, but I am so much more intrigued by seeing what Ezukanma can do in this offense, how Mike McDaniel can use him, what the plans are with him. And a lot of the Malik Washington, just get the ball in his hands are there too. They were tinkering with some of that stuff, but bigger. They need somebody of size and stature to get out there, especially with, not having Odell Beckham, and not even Odell Beckham's a moose, but you got to have somebody out there who's a little bit different, who can be an outlet. And I just think that getting that news that he could possibly be back, that was kind of exciting to me. Didn't mean that I didn't throw money on my Julian Hill anytime touchdown. Of course I did. Which, by the way, the odds were really fat on that this week. So hopefully this is the week I hit on it. I would like his stone hands to be a little bit softer this week and possibly be able to pay off on that bet for me. Because I was looking at Malik Washington, and I was like, should I go Malik Washington? And then I heard Mike McDaniel's comments, and I was like, eh. And I think right after that, he got taken off the board too, because people aren't even sure if he's going to play. Because they said on Malik Washington, this was Mike's quote. He says, "Feel good about his progress. He's done a good job of being a pro. We know we can count on him. We want to make sure we're not putting him in harm's way. He's done some good things this week. We are measuring the risk reward. He's either playing under the expectation, we're not going to risk anything, or missed the op by a day or two." And so it sounds like he's for sure a week away, but they're not positive about this week with Malik Washington. But if they're not going to have Malik Washington, I would be very intrigued by adding the X factor that is Erik Ezukanma, to have Eazy out there give him his shot, give him his shine, and give it that opportunity, especially with a quarterback that he has had a lot of success with. I know in exhibition games, but it's something. I think that familiarity is a good place and a good resource for Skylar Thompson to have. So I'm kind of excited to see if that actually happens.